Welcome, crew, to What Are Your Three, a Channel 3 podcast where we take a member of the Channel 3 community, discuss 3 games of their choosing, some honorable mentions, odds and ends, have a nice little video game discussion. I'm Dan Tucker, and with me as always is Ray.
What's going on, everybody? Today's guest over on the Dad Gaming, specifically in the Mario Kart realm of the Dad Gaming. There are certain phrases, there are certain chants, certain sounds that become lifelong sounds that you don't have to explain them. You feel them within yourself. That's part of the Dad Gaming. It's just these moments and this camaraderie that comes together. And one of these sounds comes from a very important member of our Dad Gaming, Mario Kart. It is Mr. Teets himself, the Teets.
I am Teets. A soundbite.
He is a soundbite. He is part of the culture. Mr. Teets, how are you doing today?
I'm honored. I am doing great. I've had a great day with my boys at Hershey Park and the wife, and now I'm here talking with you guys, ready to nerd out for a little bit.
I'm already going to elbow my way in here because technically your Channel 3 name is just Teets.
You know, that is the owner and operator's fault, by the way.
Put some respect on his name.
He can fix that for you, but what I want is a real in the heat of the night Sidney Poitier delivery here. It's not just what do they call it? They call me Mr. Teets. Yes. I need that from you. That's all. Oh God!
Look at that, Dan. Dan couldn't make it. We couldn't even get to the first game without.
Couldn't get the intro without making a movie reference.
All right. We're going to jump into the games. We're going to jump into the games here. Game number 1. So at some point, game number 1 is Super Mario World. At some point, I'm trying to wonder, when do I have to start including Nintendo 64 and other Mario games in like classic Mario? Because it's like, apparently these things are getting old. I wasn't aware of it, but I keep getting told. But Super Mario World, best of the before 1996 Mario games? Is that why it's number 1 on the list here?
It's best of all the Mario games.
It's best of all the Mario games still.
It hits.
Objection, Your Honor, leading the witness.
Tell us why. Why is it still the best Mario game?
Because I still plug it in, I still play, and I never get tired of it. It's just one of those games that I was 7 years old when that came out, so it was perfect timing, right? I had played Mario 1, 2, and 3. 3 being the game at that time that just blew my mind. Then the SNES comes out, right? We've got Super Nintendo, and it comes with Mario World. I'm sorry, Dan. I actually called it Nintendo.
He said the SNES.
TDG has groomed me to say SNES, by the way.
This is a good day. No, continue. This is a great story. I love it.
I am Team Super Nintendo, for the record. It's just that game that I remember when it came out, and with the cape power-up, Yoshi gets introduced, right? Like, it is just one of those games that blew my mind then. It blows my mind today. It's blown my 5-year-old's mind, and it's now his favorite game in the series. The first game he ever beat, in fact, was the Mario Brothers U, the deluxe that was out on the Switch, and that was like the first game we went through. And then I went back and took him to play Mario World, and he just thought it was the coolest thing. And I'm explaining that this is the first time you meet Yoshi, and all of these, things from the game that it just rocks, man. It's so good. The music's fantastic. The gameplay's great. Blew my mind then, blows my mind now. I love it all day.
All right, so let's start there because you mentioned Yoshi twice. So I'll start with that question. What's that discussion like in the planning room when they say, all right, we've done these 3 Mario games. We're gonna come up with this big time. We're gonna make it different for the Super Nintendo. The colors are gonna be better. We're gonna kind of change the music up a little bit. We need somebody with Mario. Let's use a dinosaur.
How did they get there? Right?
How is that? How do we get to a dinosaur with the plumber? And
it's a great question.
So when you see it, right? You see the dinosaur for the first time. What goes through your head there?
I'm 7 years old. Dinosaurs are life. You know what I mean? Like, this is the most amazing thing. My favorite character is now jumping on my favorite animal, right? And my favorite toy. And I start eating things with it. I'm running fast. I'm able to do that little jump and flutter. And then, not to mention, I can eat turtles and shoot them out and shoot fire. I mean, it was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life at that point in time.
So when you say you still, because you started to say, I still plug that game in and play it, and my son plays it. Are you plugging it in on an actual Super Nintendo?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm going to the NES
And
app.
not, hey, so am I.
Now, my brother, Bit's dad, he still plug it in. He's got games for days on his NES plugged into a nice old retro TV to boot.
So when you talk about everything, the dinosaur, the music, the gameplay, what's the feature or like the detail when you think of Super Mario World, other than Yoshi, because obviously, right, Yoshi is like that big discovery. What's the detail that stands out to you about that game?
One of the things that I love most about that game was the whole Star World, right? Like, you kind of beat the game, and then it's like, here's some more game. Like, let's have more game. And it's like, free game. Like, it just felt like free game at that point. And then the cape power-up, come on. It's so good. Not my favorite power-up of the Mario series, but it's a close second or third.
What's your favorite power-up?
Tanuki suit all day. Mario 3 Tanuki suit.
So you brought the star levels. Have you played and kind of beaten through all the star levels?
Oh, I've beaten that game so many times, front to back.
Did you do like the extra? You know how you beat the Star World and then all the colors change?
Yep.
You played through all that too?
Yeah, run through it all. Absolutely.
Did you feel like it was different enough? It was like, oh my gosh, yeah, this is like it's amazing to be able to do all this.
It did. It was enough to make it feel like not tedious to run through again, after you go through it. It was enough change, I think. Nothing crazy.
And so I'll finish and say, so still no Mario game is beating this one. This is the
my
one.
goat. Yeah,
it's the key to this whole thing, just so we're clear, is being subtle. And Ray's just a master of subtlety.
I can tell. It is. I just don't know how you beat it. And I am, full disclosure, I'm not a gamer, believe it or not. I am not like a hardcore gamer to any level. I play Mario Kart for 2 hours a week. That's the most gaming I do outside of what I play with my son, and that's usually him playing and me helping. I really am not like a hardcore gamer by any means. So side-scrolling platformer games are my number one always. Mario runs that realm, if you ask me. So I prefer even like the Mario Brothers Wii U and things like that than I do to like an Odyssey or a Galaxy. And I love those games. I think Sunshine's the only game that I really didn't fall in love with.
Oh my God. I was telling Dan this list, like I was just like, this is a great list to talk about. And now you said that Sunshine's the one you didn't get into, man. We're on the same wavelength today. Let me tell you right now.
I see you, Ray. I see you.
We're in the same place here.
Except for this Taylor Ham thing.
What's great is that you're gonna mention that now, but like that whole conversation probably doesn't show up until after the episode. So now everybody's just wondering. They're like, "What do you mean to?"
Here comes that bonus.
Right? What is that? Where was that comment from?
My bad.
No, it's great. All right, second game on the list is Tetris. And so I got to start with this because there's so many versions of Tetris. Obviously, the game keeps coming out. They do different things. What kind of Tetris are we talking about here? Or like, why number 2 on your list?
Yeah, I love the old school Tetris on Game Boy. That's my preferred method of playing Tetris. If I'm just playing, for myself and to get a high score. I love the Game Boy. It's just unmatched to me for Tetris. Now, my love for Tetris really comes because Tetris kind of made its way into my life in different phases and stages of my life, So growing up, playing it on the Game Boy was just always fun. It was that game you could play by yourself. And for me, I could sink into that for hours, even, when I was younger. And then I remember getting into high school. And I would say probably 7th, 8th grade, I really wasn't doing much video games at all. And then in high school, a couple of the guys I was hanging out with, Mom, I hope you're not listening, but we would leave school every now and then, and we'd go to this guy Ben's house, and we almost always put on the N64 Tetris. And I forget what was the title of that Tetris game. It was like, oh, this is going to bug me. I'm going to have to Google it. It
wasn't Tetris 64. What was the...
It was like New Tetris or... Oh, somebody Google that for me because I'm on my phone and I don't have a computer.
Google says
the new Tetris. No,
it was. That's what I was.
It was the new Tetris.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
So we would go, and that was like the first time that I really got to play like battle mode Tetris. You know what I mean? And that blew my mind. And we spent hours both during, before, and after school playing the new Tetris and just beating the crap out of each other on it. And then I meet I've actually known my wife since 1996. I've known her since we were 12. I was her first kiss when we were 12. Kind of crazy, right? And then we met again as adults. We always kept in touch. But that was our thing before kids. And even now we'll play Friday night Tetris and couch drinks. That was like our date nights on Fridays, was going to town on each other in Tetris, having some drinks and just hanging out. And now my son's getting into Tetris and he likes that and Dr. Mario. So it's just like Tetris has always been there for me. It's like my comfort blanket.
So it's number 2 because it's just, this game's kind of just been part of your life, right? It goes.
That's exactly right.
Friends?
Yeah,
I've never heard that. Friends, we snuck out of school to go play some Tetris. Let me tell you, that's the first time I've heard that full statement there.
And we did, and it was not, just like a one-time thing. And even like after school, it was always, let's go. Ben lived right across the street from the school. We'd go over there, and we'd game out for a little bit, and that was our game of choice at the time.
I'm going on a tangent here because you guys talked about the name of the game, the new Tetris. Apparently, there was also Tetris 64, but only released in Japan and had a biosensor accessory that I don't really understand, but I'm looking at it.
I would love to know more.
It looks like
we need to talk about
like a heart rate.
Stuff.
This looks like it's like a heart rate monitor. Basically, that's what I'm gathering from this picture.
To plug into the Rumble Pack.
That's what it looked. Yeah, it would plug in. It looks like it plugs in where the Rumble Pack would go because Nintendo 64 had all these ridiculous things that you would plug into the back of its controller. It was in English only, but only in Japan. Because reasons.
So many oddities. I wonder if the gameplay was very similar to the new Tetris.
I have no idea. It's a different cover, and I gotta go into this at some point. The Wikipedia page is like half a page long. There's like nothing.
Ray's gonna be up late tonight reading on Tetris.
Tetris 64, the English only game released in Japan. I gotta jump.
And now the Tetris movie, by the way, just to add note, I've heard nothing but great things. And so now we've got to get Apple TV because we've got a few shows we need to catch up on, and this Tetris movie, I really want to see it.
Okay, so I have to ask this now. I got a couple questions I have to ask. The first one is, what would you call? I have to ask, and I've asked this before when we talked about Tetris. I don't remember which episode it was now. What would you call the pieces in the game of Tetris? Tetraminos. That is the one pronunciation. I looked at that word and think of dominoes, the game, and so I was calling them tetraminos. And let me tell you, I'm wrong.
You're definitely wrong.
You've changed.
Dan's all in on it now, right?
I call them tetraminos now.
Tetraminos.
Because of you.
That can't be right. I'm not okay with this.
Tetraminos.
Although I'm the guy that came into the Dad Gaming League calling Mario and got an earful.
I too have changed that. Yeah. That Baltimore to Delaware County to Philadelphia accent.
The Mario Bros,
Yeah, much like it's not SNES or Super Nintendo, as I said with your brother. It's Super Nintendo.
Joe Flacco all day.
What's your favorite Tetramino?
Let's put it this way. The one that I'm putting in hold the most is obviously the line. I mean, it's if you can stack right, the line's where you're getting Tetris all day. So I'll say the line. It seems cliche, but it's the best piece.
All right, I got another live piece of information here. But when we talk about weird accessories and whatnot, apparently there was an item for the Super Nintendo. It was an exercise bike that worked with the Super Nintendo. I'm trying to skim this here as we talk about it here.
I'm sorry to derail this, and Teets, I sent it to you so you could see it sometime, but like I needed to talk about this with somebody and I've never remembered to post it. I learned about this like a week and a half ago. It was like $1,000 exercise bike in the 90s. It was at the end of the Super Nintendo run. And if you look at the picture, exactly what you expect for like that 80s holdover Lycra exercise material, like just like Cindy Crawford on a Super Nintendo colored exercise bike.
I picture her on the cover of the game that it came with.
The pre Wii Fit. Nintendo's been on this.
I was saying post Power Pad though.
this lady looks like 80s Wii Fit trainer right here. I mean, I know it was in the 90s, but that outfit just kind of reminds me of those like 80s exercise leotards and dance classes.
Big bunchy high socks and spandex. All spandex, baby.
That is. I'm telling you, video games have come some way.
Oh, I must add, by the way, Tetris 99, awesome as well. I think that's so fun.
No one on this podcast will argue against that with you.
Yeah.
See, I played what I feel like was kind of like their starter version of it. When I was in high school, it was Tetris Friends, and you could you battled each other online, just web browser. Back when web browser games were everybody was playing on miniclip.com and that kind of stuff. It was like TetrisFriends.com, and you played 4 people, and we were doing that during graphic design class. So I remember playing that. So I played Tetris 99. I was like, oh yeah, I break down lines and I send trash to other people. I was like, that's it. They perfected it.
What's your strategy? Do you switch up who you're attacking often on 99, or do you just stick with a random?
You know what? I have to credit Dan. Dan's much better at Tetris 99 than I am. I think I may have 2 or 3 like wins all time, and Dan's you stay laid back and play defense, right? That was kind of your way to go about it.
I only attack attackers. Yep, that's my typical response.
I followed along with Dan, and that's how I play now.
You want to come at me? You better kill me. That's all I say. You come at me, you better kill me.
I think we need a Tetris 99 night, boys.
You know what the problem is though? Like the private matches, the timer CPU stinks.
Oh, that too.
Oh, I've never done one, to be fair.
Yeah, no. So we did it with the Dad Gaming. We did like a retro game night.
That was December, yeah.
And yeah, there were like 20. There may have been 20 of us in there, but you have like 60 or 90 seconds
to get
for
in
people
the match.
To punch in the pin number that you send them. Like everybody has to punch in number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it starts the match. So if you have 20 people, there's 80 CPUs, and you've done the Tetris Maximus, right? Like those PC, if you gave me those computers, they will kill you and leave you in the street. But the normal CPU is just like cannon fodder for you to build up badges and increase your garbage rate.
Yeah.
So
if you know what you're doing,
if you go picking off the CPUs, you max out your 200% garbage rate, and you just go killing everybody else.
It'd be nice if you could just keep it to the 20 and not have to fill in the.
Yeah, that'd be more fun. It's kind of frustrating in that way, and it's impossible. Like, oh, we can get a Mega 99. Like we can get because everybody's got a minute to key this thing in.
Don't worry,
that's crazy.
That's all coming with the Switch 2. 20.
There you go.
2030 or whenever it comes out.
2037. Yeah.
I'm Commander Nikki, and this is your favorite podcast on gaming. At least, I hope so. Hello, and welcome to the trailer of Nikki's Gaming Universe, the show where I, Nikki, will talk about all things gaming. Things such as different genres, soundtracks, music, art. Are video games art? Yes, they are. That's not up for debate. I will talk about my favorite games, gaming moments, gaming movies and shows, also different kinds of gaming media in general. From action-adventure games to zen-like casual games. Just everything I want to talk about when it comes to gaming. So get your controllers and keyboards or whatever you want to use to play ready and enjoy the show.
You got me all riled up before I got to take it. All right, game 3. All right. So let's go on to game number 3. Mario Kart 8. You talked about the series as a whole here, but you really wanted to focus on 8. So a long-term series, but how'd you get into 8? You talked about, not really a gamer. You've got some through the course of time, and obviously, we've talked a lot about the Dad Gaming through the course of the beginning of the podcast here. But what brought you? What caused Mario Kart 8 to knock upon your door?
So Mario Kart, you mentioned I had said kind of the whole franchise, right? But let's focus on 8. But Mario Kart as a whole has just that's a fantastic franchise. We all love it for a simple reason that it's fun as hell to play, right? Since Super Nintendo, that game has been really fun to play. Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U specifically, get ready because you guys are going to think this is an insane note here. the first time I played online gaming was Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U. That's the first time I gamed online. And it was a buddy of mine that I worked with. He had just gotten a Wii U, and I was like, yeah, like, what games did you get? He says, Mario Kart. I was like, oh, me too. And he's like, we should play online. I was like, you can play online? I didn't even, like, I'm such a noob with that stuff. I feel like Ganon Slayer using Discord.
God's taken. God.
Love you, Greg. But yeah, it's just...
He doesn't know how to find podcasts. It's okay.
That's true. He's not going to ever hear this, is he? People will be talking about it. He'll be like, I have no clue what you people are talking about. But then, enter, I guess, 2020 when I jumped on the dad gaming for Mario Kart specifically. I was following the dad on Instagram and saw something posted about a Mario Kart league. And I'm like, oh, I like Mario Kart. So I jump over to the Facebook. I joined that. It was season 2 that I first joined. So it was only like Joel, Mickey, Penguin was in there. Dan, I think you were in there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the same. I jumped in that season also, yeah.
Jedi, Hana, and it was just like this small little group, and we started meeting up weekly and doing this thing. And, the craziness that was 2020, I'm a socialite. I like to socialize. I enjoy it. I missed going to the office at a point, and having that interaction. So that really became a big social outlet for me.
Using that stupid Nintendo voice app?
Yeah, exactly. We had that Switch.
Yeah, that's the question.
Talk app.
Ray, were you in before the voice app or after Discord? That's the question.
By the time I played kart with you guys, you were over on Discord.
Yeah, that's how you know where the real OGs were. Like, we had the Nintendo app.
It was so bad. You just
so
couldn't
wild.
hear each other talk, quite frankly. But it was still fun. Funny story about that Switch app and play Mario Kart if you want to hear it.
That's what we're here for. Fire away.
I'm playing one night, and I've had a few beers, and I'm not playing with anyone in particular. I'm just like playing online matches, and I see, it'll pop up in the top corner where it's like people on this race are on the Switch app talking. So I'm like, I'm gonna hop in there, And I get in, and it was a bunch of guys from New York, and they were having a good old time. They were more banged up than I was, and I just hear when I get in, they're like, "Yo, Mr. in the house," and they just started going wild. They're like, "Mr. What's up, man?" And I hung out with those guys for a good hour and a half racing, and them consistently calling me Mr. I quit.
I can't wait to hit the censor button repeatedly for this one. This is gonna be fun.
You could have seen that coming when you had.
I know it's coming.
You saw my meme. You know the rules, and so do I.
Oh my god! So I got to ask you, what's the clock out on this one? Because you had this listed on Channel 3 as your most hours logged in a game. What do you got on the clock here?
I have no clue. I'd have to go grab my Switch. I have absolutely no clue how many hours I put on that game.
We'll need an update on that
when we're talking. Yeah.
Yeah, when the podcast drops, you'll have to give us an update after the fact what it is.
Yeah, well, if I can pull it up while we're doing it, I'll try to multitask. But,
so what's the build for you now? Post meta, it keeps changing. Every update they're screwing with it. There's no more Waluigi's everywhere. I love it. Thank God.
And I was a Roy boy anyway, even during the Waluigi fame. Roy boy, I really was only him because he was as good as Waluigi, but I didn't have to look like a pedophile.
That's right. That's right.
No Megan's Law list here for you.
Roy boy all day.
I loved Roy. And I liked Roy even before I knew Roy was that good. Roy and Tanuki were kind of my go-tos. Wario way back in the day was my main. But I've been rocking Birdo with the Ink Striker, and then of course rollers and like a paper kite or something along those lines.
Going with the newbie. One of the newbies, yeah.
Yeah. I know Ray's over there just like, why aren't you Petey Piranha? Come on.
I actually don't even recognize other characters at this point.
He's so big. It's so funny to watch him.
It takes up a lot of the screen.
It's just so much screen.
So while you're loading that, what are the expansion thoughts as a whole since we're on the topic? Got a whole new game thrown in here now.
You do. 48, right? Like, that's just a lot more game. Because the mechanics of the game already work well, right? Like, we didn't need too much change. I'd love to see
It's the best iteration of Mario Kart, mechanics-wise.
I think so. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's without question. I wish they would add some other features, like a double dash type of feature. Maybe bring back some of the items, even if it's just during like different random gameplays. I tend to like battle mode more than a lot of people do. I know Bits Fitstad and I are stewards of the battle mode. I was very bummed.
Where are the new battle
tournament.
courses? Where are the courses?
Literally the point I was about to make, Dan. We're getting we're getting all these new courses. Throw in 5, 6 new battle courses, something. There's plenty from older games where we could fill those in.
Bring back the four colors, the square.
Exactly.
The little ramps to drive up. My gosh.
Yep, that's a great course. I love it.
So what's your favorite item you listed on Channel 3? I gotta ask about this one.
What is my favorite item? That's a good question. I mean,
you listed the boomerang.
I love a.
I
love a rang.
I love
a rang. Specifically for battle, I love a rang, and I don't love a rang because it's the best item. But I find great joy in 3 people being in front of me and watching that rang, knock 3 people out at once. You can't do that so easily with a shell. That shell's exploding.
I love that third boomerang throw when it just continues on forever going forward, and you rack them up. There's hitting a couple people when you throw it and it comes back to you. But when you see that person off in the distance, like, I caught him off the wall.
Is it going? And it does. Or if you're in first, second place, and you've slanged that rang twice already, and you got a line of people behind you coming up on the the checkered flag, throwing that thing backwards just for shits and giggles is always a good time.
And you just hear on the Discord,
Exactly. There's nothing better. Yeah, I mean, Mario Kart's just one of those games, and this, I mean, definitely the DAG Gaming League, that we've. Are we going on 4 years now? Is that about right?
4 years? It's more than 4 because it was May of 2019.
Crazy.
That's the first, Fortnite, Rocket League, Mario Kart. I think they were all May of 2019. October October's going to be Smash Brothers. I think
a little bit before because I was on Smash Brothers early.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was in Smash Bros. In August, so it might have been July or August.
That would make me have to go onto Facebook, which is a thing I do less and less every given day.
You and me both. I finally gotten rid of Instagram. I actually got rid of Facebook before joining TDG, and then I just made my Mr. Teets or whatever. I literally have no friends. I friend requested my wife, and that's it on Facebook. People send friend requests. Don't think I'm ignoring you. I just don't accept them because I don't do anything on there but talk about Mario Kart.
No, the funnier, I just segue while you're looking up that. We'll finish up on the clock reveal for you there. But the funniest thing was I told you, we're on the beer exchange app, and when you sent me the friend request on there with your real name, I'm like, who is? Wait, okay.
All right, you guys, I need your help. Where do I go for hours? This is how terrible I am. I told you I'm not a gamer.
Go to profile and then find the game in profile. Which is a little picture on the top.
A little picture of you on the top left, yeah.
Yep. Oh, I see. All right, so...
Oh, man, this episode is going to be something to edit.
I'm so sorry, Dan. I'm trying.
No, it's okay. It's hilarious.
Let's get guesses.
You're definitely next week's.
This is my most played game. How many hours do you think I have on it? And I've been playing this since it came out.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with 1,100 hours.
No, exactly. Oh, is it?
No, I didn't hear what Dan said.
He said 1,100.
Nope.
Dan, you're
lower.
You're out of mind. He said it. He doesn't play a lot. No, it's like 650.
555.
We both lost by Price's Right rules.
Right. Okay. And those are the only rules we go by. There are no other rules.
There are no other rules. I agree. Rest in peace, Bobby.
Hey, Bob Barker. Best joke I saw was get closest to $1 without going over. Closest to 100 without going over.
It's just
legend,
a good joke.
Legend status.
Whoever wrote that for the first time, I'd like to shake their hand.
I just want to know how many people had that in the pipe waiting for it, though, too.
Right.
There's probably 27 people.
Don't get to 100. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's terrible.
All right. Well, let's move on to honorable mentions. Let's talk about a few games that you had next up on the list here, and now Ray's gonna have this smug look that nobody's gonna see in this audio medium as he's taking shots the entire time and leading the witness. But we're gonna talk about the other. We're gonna talk about the other Super Mario Brothers. We're gonna talk about Super Mario Brothers 3.
A wonderful game.
So good.
A wonderful game.
All right, so I have to hear the butt. There's a butt after that.
No, I don't think there's a butt. It's just
not Super Mario World.
Well,
it's just
hence it being an honorable mention.
That's right.
Super Mario 3 was that game where we got Super Mario 1, And for those that don't know, which I think most people probably do, Super Mario 2 was originally Lost Levels, right? And they deemed it too hard.
Yes,
they didn't want to ruin
in Japan,
the franchise.
yes.
Right. So they gave us Doki Doki Panic with some Mario people on it, right? A cool game.
And again, I'm legally required every time to remind everybody, though. You say that, but like the influence of that.
Those characters exist.
The way that today. Luigi jumps higher, Toad is fast. Super Mario Run, Toad is still faster.
Peach floats.
It's all still there.
Yeah, things have kept from Doki Doki Panic, and they're still part of the franchise for sure.
Shy Guys are all over the place.
Shy Guys are all over the place. Birdo
in the movie,
the person I'm still racing in Mario Kart 8 right now. You know.
So go on. Sorry. We can't just blow by 2 without giving it its props. It's
2. It is weird. My son has been having a blast with that. By the way, he thinks it's just a really rad kind of game.
Where's Wart? We need Wart to have his time. We need a Wart-a-sance.
I'm not against that. Maybe that'll be our next big character release.
And maybe we'll come back to Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Maybe there's a surprise. We'll save that for a few minutes from now. Go on.
I'm so excited. It's Super Mario 3 came out, and it was just like it was a whole different world. You've got the map that you're walking through. That was awesome. You could pick and choose which course which available course you wanted to do. Then the whole if you could play the coin game, right? Like you could select the L or the M wherever the last person took off, and just be like, I'm going to make my turn, kind of playing coin game with you for no reason. And then the Tanuki suit. I mean, it was just the raccoon tail was great in its own, and then you get that Tanuki suit, and then you come to learn that you can make yourself an invincible statue for a period of time. It was just super rad, man. That game rocks.
I just had a core memory unlock.
Dan forgot about the coin battle game.
Yeah.
No, I forgot that was how you did it.
Yep.
Was you hit the button while somebody? Yeah. Well, they crossed because they would have to cross over you to get to the next level and just take that, little brother. It's on.
Yep. Yeah, the amount of times Bitstat has probably done that to me. It's not okay. It's probably why I hated video games for so long. No, I'm joking.
Probably sitting outside of your window now, waiting to see if you're playing it to just come over and match it. He's got a Joy-Con tied to your Switch. You don't even realize.
What just happened? Mario 3 was great. Everybody loves it for a reason, right? Like, it's just a fun game. The warp whistles, then of course the movie comes out and they're running through Mario 3, and we all just love that.
That's an entire 7-hour discussion of the Easter eggs that are hidden in that movie. Right,
yeah.
A movie I bring up and continue to discuss because it is a video game movie. So
yeah, fair enough.
So was this, where's Mario Brothers in your memory for you? Because we kind of did some math on where you're at as far as age is concerned, and was this like the first big Mario you really took on your own? Because that's where this one fell for me. Of okay, I played Super Mario Brothers. I did not beat Super Mario Brothers at that age because by the time you get to the World 7 castle, how are you supposed to figure that out at that age? You can't figure out that pattern nonsense then. There's no internet cheat book there.
I did have the ultimate cheat code of Big Bits. He was older than me, so he kind of beat the games and I kind of followed behind it. And I see some of that with my son now, right? Like him just following what I'm doing, and then he picks it up and learns it. But that's spot on, Dan. Mario 3 was the first one that I beat, to fruition by myself, for myself, even without the warp whistles. That was the coolest, doing it without the whistles and, not quote unquote cheating. Yeah, that game it's so fun. And it was just that perfect time. Mario in general for me Mario's always been there. You know what I mean? I'm an 84 baby. It was the perfect timing. So Mario and Ninja Turtles were life for a long time, and still both those were the best movies of this year.
So you mentioned your kid been playing this one with you. How's that how's 3 rank for him? So you mentioned, you went from the Mario Brothers U, which very solid, very good game, back down to World. What's his stance on 3? Where's that rank for him?
It's high. He would right now. I mean, it changes. He's 5, right? So it changes daily. But his number 1 is Super Mario World, like his old man, and then it's Super Mario 2, oddly enough, and then Super Mario 3, and then he always says Lost Levels, even though he's never really played it. He just throws it in there for fun.
It's just I appreciate his stance for. He's a man of culture, regardless.
He is. He's played it. He couldn't get very far. I mean, the Lost Levels is a tough game.
It's hard.
Yeah.
All right, so we're
There's
gonna
poison mushroom.
Oh, the poison mushroom! My gosh, that first blue one.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks menacingly, but you had to try it out just to see. What
Oh,
was
you're not
gonna
gonna just let it go by. Yeah.
All right, so we're leaving the comfort of Mario, who is, just takes care of us in platforming, and we jump to Cuphead. So
It's so good.
right? So it's funny how you can hide. I don't know hide, but it's a game. Like it's a real dark game behind, kind of a classic visuals, and the bosses look funny, and it's got those old school sounds to it. But it's, you made a deal with the devil, and now you owe him.
Yeah.
So tell us about Cuphead.
Well, first off, do you both know the Cuphead rap by any chance? If you don't, you have to go listen to it. And if you can plug it into this, a piece of it, it's so good. Just go listen to the Cuphead rap. It's fantastic.
I'm trying. I guess that's going to have to be your clue.
There's the hint.
Yeah, that's the clue on Monday that I'll have to drop for you. No one's going to have any idea what it is. It's going to be. There's going to be Adam Sandler, or he's going to do a screenshot of your
It's too easy.
Your season 6 debut for the gift, but no, we're going to have to just be real subtle and drive everybody nuts.
Yes, I love it. I love driving people nuts. So I'm in. Cuphead, dude, it's, I mentioned how I love platformers. This is like platformer meets boss game, right? Like we're just going to do a bunch of bosses, and then you get the run and guns, which are just so fun to go through. I remember I had no clue what Cuphead was, never heard of it, and Bitstat actually had texted me, and he's like, I just got this game. It was on sale, and I want to say it was like $8 or something. Like it was on sale one day on Switch, and he's like, "You gotta get it. Like it's cheap right now, and it's really good." And him and I both got completely hooked on that game. And I don't know, man. It's the artwork, it's the music, it's the gameplay, the mechanics, it's everything I love, which is just that platformer style feel. And then it's, I don't know, man. It's beautiful too. I love it.
So are you Cuphead or you Mugman?
I go Cuphead typically, but now my son, he really is loving Chalice. So he just thinks it's cool that he can like do the double jump and things like that. But yeah, I'm a Cuphead guy.
So you're playing? Have you played through the entire DLC? I have not. Okay, I haven't even played it. I haven't even touched it yet. So
I've played it. Again, I genuinely do not spend too much time gaming, but and I haven't even beat the first full game. I'm at Mr. Dice or whatever. What's his name? Not Mr. Dice. Is it Mr. Dice?
You're towards
Dice Man.
You're towards the end. I know that.
Yeah, I know I'm near for sure. I forget his name, but yeah.
Oh, I think you're right. It actually might be Mr. It is Mr. Dice.
Is it just Mr. Dice? Yeah.
It is.
So that's where I'm at. That's I gotta beat Mr. Dice so I can get to that darn devil.
So I mean, for people that play a lot of games, I'm gonna say it's a hard game, but for someone who says they don't play a whole lot of games, has it been tough?
Oh yeah, super tough. But those are like the games that I do freakishly good at. You know what I mean? Like I'll pick up Mario Wonders, and that's a game I'm just gonna own at some point. Like I'm just gonna run through that as I put in the time.
Are you playing Cuphead by yourself? Does your son play this one? Has he played this one at all?
Yeah, no, he likes it.
Oh, that's right. We play Chalice. That's right.
Yeah. He likes Chalice. He likes that I can save him with a parry. That is like for him. And we'll do like the easy mode or whatever when he plays, because he's just it's just cool to watch him learn the mechanics and get funny with it. And then it's funny because I have my other son's 3. He'll be 4 in March. And he's Nabbit for life. That guy, he's going to be 15 and he's just going to be, I'm Nabbit. Like, he just doesn't get into it too much, but he also likes the like hanging out aspect with me and his big bro, But yeah, big bro, his birthday's coming up, and Super Mario Maker 2 is like the game on his list, because he wants to build mods, as he says, because he'll watch all the guys on YouTube and he's just like, Dad, I want to make mods like Super Mario 2. I can make mods. I'm like, yeah, man, you can. Like, you know what I mean? So he's gonna be my little gamer, and I love watching it. We have a lot of bonding over it for sure.
Playable Characters Podcast, funny interviews with real video game characters.
Hi, I'm Calvin Cato.
And I'm Brian McGinnis, and we interview video game characters on our show. We have comedians and actors come on and pretend they're a video game character for 30 minutes. We talk to them. It's all ad-libbed and improvised, and always very funny.
Past guests include Bowser, Ms. Pac-Man, Q*bert, Princess Peach, and Princess Daisy.
Yep. You put them in a booth, and something short-circuited, and I decided that someone was taking too long in the money booth, and I hit her with a baseball bat. And thus was born Super Smash TV.
Just like that.
I was being raised by a family of toadstools.
How is that? That seems like it might be kind of fun.
It was really fun.
Mario should stick to plumbing, okay? Okay, he's from what I hear, a good plumber, a terrible hero.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really bad. And I mean, let's not get started on his, whatever he is, friend, brother, special friend, I don't know, Luigi, whatever they're doing. Well, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. They're saying they're brothers because, in the Italian-American community, these people tend to not look kindly on certain relations.
If you want to know what's going on in your favorite video game character's life, check us out. Playable Characters Podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yes, comes out every Monday.
Well, let's enter a different Thunderdome. Your third honorable mention, GoldenEye.
Dun, dun. Those same guys I played Tetris with, you know what we did Fridays and Saturday nights? We ate pizza, drank Mountain Dew, and played GoldenEye, man.
This is a multiplayer venture for you, huh?
For sure. I was, probably 12, 13 when that game came? What year did that come out? That's like
that was that would have been 13, yeah.
Yep.
It was 96, 97, I think it was 97, yeah.
Yep. And that, I mean, what a perfect age to have a first-person shooter like GoldenEye, You could easily argue that there's a lot of better first-person shooters, but none of them came out of the gate like GoldenEye. It's the OG, man.
And none of them were teen either. Like, none of them had that teen, like, you had your first-person shooters, but none of them had that, like, oh, it's only teen!
Right, yeah, absolutely. Well, because what was the other first-person shooters at the time? Like Doom?
Well, yeah, you had your like Dooms, your Wolfensteins, your Duke Nukems. Everything was M-rated for the big first-person shooters.
Yeah, yep. So now me, the 13-year-old, could get into the first-person shooter. And I thought the one-player aspect of that game was great, too. The campaign was fun. And tough. It was tough.
So tell me about the modes, weapons, builds. What'd you do? How'd you work your multiplayer?
I was always odd. No, I'm joking. I hate anyone who would ever do that.
Anybody who was a real man was Jaws. Come at me, bro.
I like the classic Bond, and everybody thought that was kind of basic, but Bond was cool. And I give me proximity mines in the facility all day long, and it's on.
Oh, you're just the sadist. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's me for sure.
So let me ask you a question. So you're playing with your boys. You're doing your thing on the weekends. There's something we have to talk about here. And it's about screen sniping. It's about looking at the quadrants. How was this? What was your stance first of all? Were you a looker or not?
I was a looker. I'd like to deny that I wasn't, or deny that I was, but yeah, I was totally a looker. I figure any data that's available, it's available to everybody, so it's available to me too. I'm going to use it.
So how was this addressed if somebody was caught in violation, or did everybody just accept it for what it was?
We were all cool with it. We all accepted it. None of us had too much beef with it. You couldn't play online. Wow. It's not like we could all grab our switches, right, and go to our own holes and play. This was, like I said, we all had the same data. We used to play with this guy, Tim. He was so freaking good, and he knew based on whatever it was, he knew where you would respawn. So specifically, if you did Golden Gun, we would do 3-on-1, and he would just wipe us out. This guy, it was impressive because he just knew everywhere where you would respawn in every level, and just be waiting for you, and you'd be dead.
That mode just wasn't fun using because you get hit in the. Oh, I got hit in the pinky. I'm out.
Golden Gun was I mean, it was fun.
It was ridiculous
or something, right? Like you could have some fun with it, but that wasn't your everyday play.
Any battles with bits on this one?
No, he wasn't. I want to say he was probably in college also when that was big. So it's not like we were hanging out very much because he was away at college, and he didn't. At least to my knowledge, he was more of a Halo guy. I don't think he got into 007 very much at all.
Note to self: challenge bits to a GoldenEye duel. Okay,
yeah, get it. Street Fighter 2 is probably the game me and Bits have put the most just going at it battles outside of Mario Kart.
Oh, I owe Bits a battle in Street Fighter 2. Where we are
a duel.
We're 1-1 right now.
Nice. Who's your go-to?
Ryu, because I don't know anything about the game. I
like Ken.
turned it on one time. The Channel 3 did it.
Yeah.
And so we've gone we've gone back and forth on that one. I gotta send one to him.
Right, they put reuse controls in Smash Brothers. That's the important thing to know.
They did, and that's why I don't play I don't use the fighting characters. All right, so we've made it. We gotta talk about one future game you're looking forward to, and I mean it's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
Super Mario Wonder. I mean, obviously, I have to say Super Mario Bros. Wonder because every time I try to search it up, I forget the Bros is in there and it ruins the search. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm gonna you tell me what you're looking forward to.
If you've listened to what I've said during this podcast, you knew this was the game, right? Like, what else would it be? Mm-hmm. We haven't had a new platform Super Mario since Super Mario Wii U, right? I mean, essentially, and I really don't know what year that came out, but it's been some time. How long out are we?
We are.
It's been.
You got a Mario Maker 2 in there. There's a little something there, but that's it. Yeah, it's
not the same.
It's been 8. It was that 2015 or 2016.
I was going to say 14, 15.
Oh, maybe
that's 14, crazy, right? Like, and then we've had Odyssey, but that's just not the platforms that do it for me. I like the side scrollers. I remember when that first came out for the Wii U, or I guess it was the Wii the first one that had the multiplayer side scroll local?
Yeah, the Wii U had the new Super Mario Brothers.
Right,
yeah.
New Super Mario Brothers.
The Wii, I'm sorry, not the Wii, the Wii.
The Wii, right. That blew my mind, man, when you could go with 4 people at a time. I thought that was just super cool, and I'm still so glad that it was awesome. You're picking people up and throwing and
jumping off of people's heads.
You can ride the Yoshis even if like that's your friend who's the Yoshi. Like, I'm just super stoked to see where they go with this. My son has been running around the house just yelling onward and upward like all day long. He's like, Dad, am I going to be able to be a flower? I'm like, I don't think so, but yeah, I think it's so funny. Like now I think I'm more hyped for this game than even normal because I get hyped for these Mario games. He's so into it that's going to be, you know what I mean? That's going to be our time together for sure. Like that's going to be so fun.
It's funny because we started with Super Mario World, and when I watched the latest video, the thing I noticed is they're bringing back the little balloon Mario.
Yeah,
and I saw that and I was like, oh, we brought it right back to Super Mario World. It's another sign that it's going to be amazing.
So I said when we were watching the trailer, I said to my oldest, I was like, you've seen that power up before, right? And he's like, And then he was like, oh, Super Mario World. He's like, that's the balloon, like where you fly up and you can get the 1-ups on the right side. And I'm just like, yep, you got it, man. The game looks dope.
I love all the I love when they make these callbacks. You get the more advanced game and like, well, we're gonna bring back something that you loved, and now we can make it better just because we have better technology to do it.
For sure. I am, just at a glance on the trailer, I'm very curious to see how much I enjoy these power-ups compared to power-ups of the past. Because like the elephant, like that's totally bizarre and goofy.
So funny.
But I think it's going to be really fun, man. Nintendo knows what they're doing.
I keep telling myself that the one thing that makes me kind of nervous is the flower talking. Right. I really hope they don't get annoyed. Like the power-ups, I'm like, listen, if they tell me I want a bubble shooter, I'm taking the bubble shooter. If they tell me I'm going to be an elephant, I'm being an elephant.
That's right.
Flowers, I'm like, oh boy, I'm going to trust them. I'm going to trust them. Whatever they're doing, I'm going to trust them.
The new Navi. I think right. I think it's going to be just chatting your ear off all the time.
And it's like right when you walk by them, it looks like they're gonna have something to say.
On to a question from the Channel 3 history books that we pick for you to discuss. We don't give any warning about this one, but here we go. So what we're going to ask for you today, what video game world would end you the fastest?
Battletoads.
Battletoads.
Yeah, it's too much, man. I'd get through that first level. I'd grab, one of those robot legs and I would just start smashing stuff, but I'd get on those skyrockets and they go too fast. It's too much. I'd die.
All right, I need to ask something here because when I do this, I usually pull a question because I want to understand something. When I look at the answer, I don't look at the full answers, but you selected Animal Crossing for this answer, and I need to know. Battletoads makes perfect sense. I probably would have skipped over. He said, "But the rocket bike. Yeah, you're gonna kill yourself. Absolutely." Wait. What happened with... I need to know why Animal Crossing was your answer.
Animal Crossing is because I actually would kill myself. That's what that would be. That wouldn't be the game killing me, but I would probably, take it to myself. I think I would die of boredom is what would happen. I would be sitting there fishing with some weird looking thing, and I would just be like, I'm gonna jump into this water and hope that you don't catch me.
I totally forgot about your Animal Crossing stances.
And the villager. I've never wanted to punch a video game character so much in my life than the villager. I want to give him one. I want to just smash his face in a little bit. I want to be like Mighty Mac and just go.
I don't get that game. I don't
either.
I don't understand it. I don't understand the turnips and the stock market that appeared in the new one. It's just
Mickey though. There's Mickey. One time I'm talking to him and he's like, "Yeah, I like set an alarm so I could harvest crops or something weird." I was like, "What are you doing with your life, man? Like you're busy enough as it is. Turn it off." Yeah, Animal Crossing. I don't get it. Even when people talk about it, I'm just so curious how they're not even bored just talking about it. It's terrible.
All right, last question we ask everybody. What's been your favorite feature on Channel 3 so far?
I love the Target. I really do. I was and the fact, Joel, thank you a million times over for now having an app on my home screen, because I literally just wasn't using it because I'm a lazy turd and I can't use a web browser apparently. But yeah, I love the Target. The Mario Kart specifically, I just find it fun. It's challenging, it's funny. When I'm way off, I'm just like, how was I that off? Like, I know this game pretty darn well. I've got 555 hours in it.
That's right.
Yeah, Target.
All right, and with that, we've made it to the end of another What Are Your Three podcast. Mr. Teets, thank you so much for being here today.
Teets.
Find the podcast at c3.gg/podcast, dropping every Wednesday morning at 3:33 a.m. Eastern on all the major platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. I am Ray, putting a third episode together today. And for Dan and for executive producer Joel Willis, have a good day, everybody.
Sound engineer. You got a technical title, Ray. Sound engineer.
I am Sound Engineer Ray for now officially the third episode.
Woo!
A new one.
Yeah, I did. Okay, yeah, here's a new recording. So let's start the recording by saying this, because everyone sounds good on my end. I hear everybody. Dan just said wherever you guys are talking about is Auntie Anne's headquarters. Does that mean there's no Wetzel Pretzel over there?
No, Wetzel's Pretzels does not exist.
Not in Pennsylvania.
You're firmly in Auntie Anne's country.
I am down here too. Wetzel's. I don't know if it's like only a Jersey thing.
Wait, I was gonna say,
in South Carolina, there's no Wetzels. There's Auntie
that's
Anne's
a North
here.
Jersey.
That's
a North Jersey thing. Is the Wetzel's Pretzel?
Is it that small?
Yeah, you get into the South and it's Auntie Anne's country still.
Wetzel's is better. I'm gonna put that out there.
See, that's where that
I'm recording it too. Wetzel's is better.
I'm fighting words right there. Right?
Joel will be happy. There's a post-credit scene, but like, I know you guys don't like to talk about in Jersey that Trenton and that actual true central part of New Jersey is the dividing line between the New York half and the Philly half.
Trenton does not divide the top.
Yes, you don't have to. Yes, you go above it. Once you hit Trenton, you're in New York City. It's all just other parts of New York City until you get up to like ultra. You know, I'm not going to say my comments about the ultra northern part that jets out above. Like we can have offline comments about that area if you'd like.
There's two sections of the ultra north section in New Jersey.
Remind me to tell you. You'll appreciate the story I got to tell you sometime about that, but that's not going to be on a recording.
I've been to both sections too. They are very different, very special areas.
So Ray, is it Taylor ham or pork roll? Let's settle the debate.
Well, it's Taylor ham. Taylor ham.
Golly.
You gotta be Taylor ham. It's on the bag. It says it when you look at the package.
Does it not also say pork roll?
I don't know. I don't read that far.
Yeah, because if you read that far, you might accidentally read the ingredients. So we don't want to do that.
If I read down,
don't want that
if I keep reading, I end up in the south part of that, and I'm not trying to be there. Listen, I'll give you maybe Edison. You could say Edison is what maybe. Reality is Newark. You go past Newark, now you're in South Jersey. That's
see, you're just Kearney, New York suburbs. No, once you are above like Trenton, Princeton, and you go north of that, you're in New York City.
That's crazy.
You go south of that, you're in Philly.
First of all, you could just, like I said, if you just want to say the Central doesn't exist, that's fine, because it's also true.
It's true.
I tell Bombchu all the time. He says he lives in Central Jersey, and I tell him
he lives in North Jersey.
That's not a real place. No, Bombchu's South Jersey. Bombchu's in South Jersey.
What?
He's
No, he's not.
Oh yeah, he's south of Freehold. That's South Jersey already. That's
You're making ridiculous rulings up.
Ray's like, he's in Pennsylvania. He's definitely
might as well be at that point.
He may as well be in Maryland, by the way Ray's talking.
That's all.
Oh, good lord.
So anyway, we're here to talk about video games. Supposedly, but now
Is that what we're talking about?
All right.